Welcome into Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, in theaters September 19th.
Oh, and it is Friday, and it feels so good. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We are live every single weekday here on the Stadium Network, Bally Sports Live, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV. We are available in over 100 million homes every single day, and we're so honored that you choose to begin your day with me and us. Now, we got a little bit of housekeeping before I bring the guys in because it's a busy Friday. It's the first weekend officially in college football. We are less than a week away from the NFL, so we are fired up and ready to go. How so? Well, last night, how about a little 7-3 day? Is that what we had, producer man? Do we have 7-3? I believe so. Look at my guys. I gave them a task. They came ready to play, but that's yesterday. We got to get ready for today. And as you guys know, our schedule here at the brand is incredibly, incredibly busy. We have the morning show. Then, if you so choose, we have a lot of wrestling fans, 2 to 4 Eastern time. Off the Ropes with the Coach on Sirius XM, channel 156 every single afternoon. We also have weekday wagers right here on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, share the page. It helps us grow. Then, of course, Coach and Bro, the fastest growing pro wrestling show in the YouTube space. All right. Do not forget that we're going to have a ton of nighttime shows, but there's only one way you can be a part of it. You got to be a premium member. There's the QR code. Scan that. And just like our premium member, Kevin Wall, says, good morning, all you little degenerates like myself. Let's have a day. Kevin, you're damn right. Let's have a day. So coming up in about 15 minutes from right now, the trade heard round the world. Finally, it's over. My guys weigh in. Also, today, yes, every team matters in the NFL. We're talking the Panthers. We're talking the Saints. And we're talking favorite game this weekend in college football as we have count them, three top 10 matchups. But we got to have best bets. We got to stack that cash. So, they're ready to go. My company's at the door. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. Oh, and look at this motley crew today. Whoa. It's Zeno, it's Friday, correct? Today's Friday?
Let me just check my notes here. Yes.
Did you check that for me? Today is Friday. All right, thank you, Zeno. Because I see a face that's never here on Friday. Something big must have happened. Ladies and gentlemen, he's our numbers guy for a reason. Say good morning to Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael. What are you doing here?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. When you go 3-0 yesterday, you show up. When you got new merch, you show up. That's why I'm here, Coach.
Wow. I appreciate the aggressiveness. Is that a light blue Coaching Company merch with the golf shirt?
Yes, I call it Carolina blue, but yes.
Very interesting. Oh, now he's already shaking his head. He's already rolling his eyes, which means we're on to something. Say good morning to the man. He goes by one name only. Good morning, Zeno.
Coach, good morning, everybody. Yeah, Raph, you know I love you, but you do have the Millennium Falcon over your shoulder. So, let's leave the fashion decisions to other people within the crew here. So. I love you. You know I love you. You know
those are fighting words with Star Wars, man. It's fighting words.
Oh, my God. I love this so much. And next, he represents SureDog USA. Mikey, how come we have not done our year-end PFL interview yet? I'm offended. Good morning.
Well, I did reach out. I just haven't heard back from the man who I need to interview for that year-end interview. So it's okay. I've also been crying over the last 24 hours after this Micah Parsons trade. But I get it. They're scared of Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Bears. So the Packers can do all they want. The Bears will be waiting.
Bro, what are you talking about? We're just in intros right now. We haven't even got to Micah Parsons yet. What are you doing? And by the way, I know a guy. I'll make that interview happen. Now, finally, he has on Fridays not one pick, but 5. And starting next week, there's going to be another reason you need to be a premium member. Just saying. Today we got 5 big plays. Footy Friday, my man Big Chuck live from the Dirty Dirty. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Coachman Company. Yeah, shout out Raffy for the 3-0 day. And I figured you'd take an opportunity to say North Carolina Tar Heels and Belichick, but instead of the good old Panthers. But either way, big weekend ahead, ready to get it going.
Did you guys see, by the way, that and unless I got taken by another parody account on the X, did you see that Belichick and his boo thing have copyrighted the term gold digger? Anybody?
Yes.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe he's getting cool at 75 years of age.
Art.
Betting
Very
prop
smart.
bets on Monday about that Carolina TCU game. How many times mentioned Gold Digger? Would they show?
Are
his
you
girlfriend?
serious?
Oh yeah, those
Are
would
you
be
serious? Oh my God, I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be an entire segment. All right, but we need to focus on the here and the now because, boys, when we come off a 7-3 day, all of a sudden we've got targets on our backs. People are watching. People are paying attention. Chuck told me that we've got our stuff all over these websites out there that we didn't even know about. Huh, Big Chuck, right?
Everywhere, little posts going everywhere, little clips. It's quite nice.
Little clips. It's quite nice. All right, so I ask one very simple question. Who wants the smoke today? Who wants the smoke today? Oh, my man who's never here on Fridays wants to smoke. Raphael, best bet start. Go.
I always want the smoke, especially on a Friday, and I'm going to football first. Give me San Jose State team total over 32.5. I think this game's have a lot of points been scored. Most likely this game will probably have the most points scored tonight. San Jose State averaged 28 points a game last year. Their offense is pretty much all coming back with an experienced quarterback. I can see them easily hitting the 30 mark. I'll take the team over 32.5. And why not go back to the well in baseball? Because I'm taking the Yankees White Sox over 9. Yesterday we cashed with even money. I'll lay the minus 105 on this game. The Yankees have been rolling. They've won 5 straight, outscoring opponents 43-13, and you're only posting the total 9. Give me that easy money on the Yankees White Sox game.
Easy money. Last night they cashed it. It was nice. They were at 4-0. And then this young kid from the White Sox had a 2-out grand slam. And the total was 9, so you're going to get an automatic push no matter what. So that was nice. Let's keep that train rolling. Raphael, great to have you on a Friday. Great to have you here. Great to have you start. All right, let's go right next door. My man, he doesn't like it when somebody else goes 3-0. He believes that's his right. Mikey P, best bets. Go.
I'm going to start with Auburn and Hugh Freeze. They need to get off to a hot start, just like we need to have a hot start today. Taking on the Baylor Bears, and Jackson Arnold is the new quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, but Cam Coleman is the guy I'm looking at against a very weak Baylor passing defense. So give me Auburn minus 1.5 at a minus 115. And then in the Georgia Tech Colorado game, the Buffaloes are going to look a lot different this year. So give me Jamal Haynes over 76 rushing yards. He hit this in 7 of 13 games last season, one of the best college running backs in all of college football. That's a minus 115.
I absolutely love it. You seem very serious this morning, Mikey. Very serious today.
I'm upset.
You're upset over a trade in the NFL that had nothing to do with your team?
Yeah.
You're upset about that?
I'm very upset.
Wow. Interesting. All right. You just adjusted my vibe. All right, let's go downstairs. The best looking man at the brand, and it's not close. Zeno, best bet, go.
Mikey sounds like a guy who's got a Cowboys future on something.
I know. Damn.
I mean, don't show your cards, but show your cards, pal. Anyway, I was one of the 3 yesterday, and I'm still pissed off about NC State last night because they left about 14 points off the board.
At
with
least.
the mistakes that they made. So we're going back to the team total well again. Mikey, you and I are in Simpatico here. Georgia Tech over 27.5. Haynes King, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country. This is an offense that will play fast, enough tempo against a Colorado defense that has nobody. They're just void of high-level talent. I know Warren Sapp is taking over the defense, and it's Deion Sanders, but they don't have the horses in the barn to keep up with Georgia Tech here. Sneaky Georgia Tech team. Outside shot to make the ACC title game. Georgia Tech gets over 27.5 tonight. And then we're going to look to tomorrow, to the big one, the big boy. Texas Ohio State first half under 23.5. Coach, you got Julian Sayin, first-time starter for Ohio State. You got Arch Manning taking over the starting role at Texas, just his 3rd start ever. These are 2 top 5 defenses last year. Neither one of these coaches are going to want to put their quarterback in a bad situation by getting down early. We'll see a lot of checkdowns, a lot of running, a lot of short passes. Defense rules the day. For the first 30 minutes of this ball game, we stay under 23.5.
Absolutely love it. Even though I hate unders, I love the play. By the way, I thought of you last night when NC State was rolling in the first half, and then all of a sudden they just forgot to play and damn near lost the game. That was brutal.
I was actually rooting for them to lose. I was actually
right?
Overtime might have helped, but nonetheless, I was kind of rooting for them to lose at that point. And the idiot kicker misses 2 field goals. They get a 15-yard personal foul penalty on their first drive inside the 5. Ugh.
It was yuck. It was yuck. That's why we love the game. That's why we love the game. All right. Zeno's done. Mikey's done. Raphael is done. Now we've got to get through these. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to cash those tickets in Footy Friday. Man is an absolute cash register. Start with Friday. What do we got today, Chuck?
We're actually going to start the weekend on Saturday, Coachman, in the Bundesliga, Germany. We have Hoffenheim, Frankfurt. This is just a don't overcomplicate it play. The over 2.5. Both teams to score and over 2.5. This is cashed 11 straight and 13 of the last 14 meetings between these two.
Bundesliga, which we love. Where do we go from there?
Sunday, we have a loaded card. We have to wait just a couple of days, but it's a loaded card, and we'll start that morning out in the EPL, Liverpool, Arsenal, and I like the Gunners to either win or draw, meaning Arsenal on the double chance. They have failed to lose in the last 6 meetings against Liverpool, plus they tend to score early. Arsenal, first half team total over half a goal. They've scored a first half goal in 5 of the last 6 meetings versus Liverpool. Then we're going to go to Spain. We have Celta Vigo and Villarreal in La Liga, the over 2.75. These two have combined for 3 or more total goals in their 5 previous meetings. Lastly, we go to France, Ligue 1, Lyon, Marseille, just 2 more teams who enjoy scoring when they share the pitch with the over 3, with this total coming in or going over in 6 of their previous 8 meetings.
Let's not make it complicated. There you go. 5-pack, 1 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. All right, quickly moving. Where is my man Marky Model at? We got to go straight to Marky Model. How did college football do last night, Mark? Anything over at the site?
Oh, Coach, listen, including week 0 games and last night, there's been 31 games played on the money line picks. According to the model, we are 25-6 so far on the season. Great way to kick off college football.
25-6 on the money line plays. It's very simple. They don't overcomp. If I can use JTS, you can use JTS. All right, what is our JTS play of the day today?
We are going with Atlanta Dream, Alicia Gray, to get 20 points plus rebounds, something she has done in 15 of her last 17 home games. And against Dallas, she's done this in 3 straight, averaging almost 25 combined. And we're going to pair that with Toronto Blue Jay Bo Bichette to get at least 1 hit today. He's on a 12-game heater where he's averaging almost 2 hits a game during that stretch. And at Rogers Center, Bichette has recorded a hit in 17 of his last 20 home games. Put them both together, you get a plus 121. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
And there is our QR code. Download it. NFL 100 will give you the first month for $1. For any more than that, you get all the lines on college football, NFL football. And remember, college football, you got to wait till the day of. NFL is going to be up every single Tuesday for the week. So they're all cylinders over there at JTS. All right, still to come here on the show, we got front page news. Micah Parsons, you may have heard, he says they're going to be a better team. We'll talk about it. Also, college football, 3 top 10 matchups. We'll talk about it. And then we continue our countdown to the NFL season. We go to the NFC South today. It's the Panthers. It's the Saints. All about them. It's Coach Company. Presented by Afterburn. Live as always, right here on Stadium.
What is a DemerBox? A DemerBox is a rugged portable speaker. It's a vault to hold all your things, keep them dry and safe, and it's a charger. You know, you're looking at 40 hours of playtime. So we charge this thing maybe once a week when we're traveling and adventuring. There's volume controls on the outside of the box here, so you can turn it up and down. If you have your phone inside there charging, it's nice and safe and dry. All right, so we're gonna hook the DemerBox to our phone. I'm gonna show you some tricks. You just hit the button on the front. You've got the battery gauge here. That lets you know how full your battery is. You got a volume here as well. So you just turn it on, go to your Bluetooth, DemerBox DV2, and it says when it's paired. Yep. And so inside the lid, if you're just jamming tunes and you're not around water or anything like that, you can leave this open. But if you're going into a wet or muddy, snowy environment, inside the lid right here is a plug. You undo this plug, it pops out, put it right in the top right here, give it a few turns, turn it on. Now you've got a waterproof speaker box. Now you can play it for the whales. I think there's a use for each individual person. The DemerBox, like this is mine with all my stickers, my things on it. You can kind of make them your own. That's part of the love of them. I have a connection with these because it's like a good belt or like a good pair of boots. You can cater your lifestyle to your DemerBox, but there's no other speaker that charges your things and holds all your stuff, keeps it dry and safe. That's what sets this apart. So I'd recommend y'all trying a DemerBox and bring it because it's so much more than a speaker.
Oh, and I've got mine right here. Use that code, Coach10, and get 10% off site-wide. These things are amazing, especially if you like to camp and do all that kind of fun stuff. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium, Bally Sports Live, and everywhere that you find us. Also, if you choose to have your voice be heard, you like to watch us on YouTube, you're welcome to do that as well. If you're in the chat, Kimberly runs the chat. Any questions, run through her or my guys into the chat, and she will get them to me because we have that communication. But she's the only one. She's the only one. All right, we've got a lot of topics to get to. We got college football. This is why we've been waiting for this time of year, because 1 hour is almost not even nearly enough to fit everything in. But we keep it very simple. And a little something we like to call front page news. All right. He was the gift that just keeps on giving. And finally, something happened on Thursday. Micah Parsons, who had been sitting in with the Cowboys, had been wanting more money, wanting more guarantees, wanting more everything. Jerry Jones blamed his agent, said his agent is the reason this deal didn't get done. We offered him the moon. And yesterday, he got the moon. Just not from the Dallas Cowboys, from the Green Bay Packers in a trade, 4 years, $188 million for Micah Parsons. But I got to start with the line movement as always. Raphael, when this news popped, what has happened?
It's very interesting because I talked to a couple books last night and they said if he would have got traded by any other team besides the Packers, we wouldn't seen so much line movement because then he's not a quarterback. He's not a running back or a wide receiver that actually move numbers, but it's the Green Bay Packers and their fan base. Super Bowl odds for Green Bay was around 18-1 yesterday. And then the trade happens. DraftKings moves it to 13 or 14-1. BetMGM moves it to 15-1. Now they're back to 14-1. NFC Conference, a little around 850, best number you can get there. And then boom, trade happens, 7-1 at DraftKings, plus 650 at MGM. But the most interesting one that happened, winning conference to win the Super Bowl. AFC right now is minus 120, NFC's plus 130. Before that, the AFC was minus 130. So now everybody bet the NFC yesterday to win the Super Bowl because of just one trade to one team, the Green Bay Packers.
That's amazing, amazing information, Raphael. Thank you very much. Zeno, let me come back over to you because we knew these numbers would move, but one player moving things this much, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's an overreaction. I I mean, the line movement is an overreaction to the public. I mean, that's generally what happens, which is when I go in the exact opposite direction, because that's what I do. But nonetheless, I mean, I understand it. Look, this may be the key piece that they need to win in the postseason. Now, just put this scenario together. Before yesterday, if I said to you Green Bay was going into Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game to try and win it, you'd go, they got a shot, but I'd probably lean Philadelphia.
Exactly.
I said, now, Green Bay is going into Philadelphia for the NFC Championship game with Micah Parsons on their roster, who played against Philadelphia his entire career. How do you feel about Green Bay right now? They feel a little bit better. They feel a little bit better, and that's ultimately the difference.
That really, really is. I was on BetMGM tonight last night. I've got a weekly spot now, and we were talking about that exact thing. What does it do to the perception of the Green Bay Packers? And sometimes you pay for that. And Mikey, I know you're over in the chat talking to all the little Bears fans that you have, but in all honesty, this now changed. You just heard Raphael, not only division numbers, team wins, a lot of things, awards. I mean, across the board, what does this affect happen in your mind?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the Packers still have Jordan Love, and we can give Micah Parsons all the respect and credit he's due, but he didn't take the Cowboys to a Super Bowl, and I'd rather have Dak Prescott over Jordan Love right now. That's just where I'm at, and I'd rather have the Dallas Cowboys playmakers more than I would the Green Bay playmakers, because they don't have any besides Josh Jacobs. So Micah Parsons is absolutely a franchise changer. He's a lines mover, as Raphael said, but the Packers need Jordan Love to stay healthy. They need him to stay upright. And right now, this is a counter move to everything we've seen the Lions do over the last few years. And taking my fanhood away from it, the Bears upgraded their entire offensive line, brought in Ben Johnson. The Packers needed to make this move. But now Jordan Love single-handedly becomes the most important person, if not in the NFC North, the entire NFC.
Wow, JC1 premium member says Mikey P spitting facts. Well done, sir. But let's stay now with those Cowboys, because when we talk about what is left behind, they're going to get a couple of draft picks, but sometimes when you get rid of a perceived cancer in the locker room, it can make things better. But then Jerry Jones opens his mouth and says, we are better because of this trade. What did you make of Jerry Jones's comments?
Well, Jerry Jones is lying, kind of like Mikey was about taking his fandom out of this whole trade. So there is that whole thing. Nonetheless, look, here's the deal for the Cowboys and the way this works out. It's not necessarily about them hitting on those 2 first-round picks, because they likely are going to be later first-round picks. It's about the draft capital. It now gives you the flexibility to do 2 things. One, move up in the draft to get a player that you do want by trading away 2 other picks in the first round to an organization who's willing to do it. And furthermore, what the Cowboys did was open up the second most cap space in the NFL. So if there is a situation where there is a player who is under contract that they'd like to go after, they now have the extra draft capital that's not theirs to go and get that player. So this provides them with a lot of flexibility. I'm not going to sit here and say they're better. You're not better when you get rid of Micah Parsons. That's just a ridiculous statement. Is the organization positioned to do different things? Yes, they are. They're on a much different path right now. The road went that way, and they took the road less traveled, which is usually where losers are. But nonetheless, they are on a different path than they were before, and they have assets to do it.
I love this discussion, Mikey. So with all that being said, when you're talking about numbers and you're talking about wins, where do you think Dallas ultimately stands right now? We're going to be breaking them down next Thursday because they play night number 1.
Honestly, I don't see more than 8 wins. But, Coach, if I may, I want to kind of reiterate something I heard this morning. I got to give a shout-out because it's not my original thoughts. Kyle Brandt of NFL Network said, this is exactly what Jerry Jones wants at his age and where the Dallas Cowboys are. The 90s, they were a Super Bowl team. Now the Dallas Cowboys are a content team. They've got the number 1 show on Netflix. They've got the number 1 cheerleading show. They are the number 1 trending topic on social media, on sports shows. This is what Jerry Jones wants. Bring all the money in from an entertainment aspect and then never spend it on your roster. Well done, Jerry Jones.
Wow. You just nailed all 3 of those things. And Kyle Brandt's absolutely right. They get all the attention. Somehow they're worth $13, $14 billion now. But Jerry Jones, you have no chips in the last 28 years. All right, let's flip over quickly to the college gridiron because, Raphael, I got to bring you back in. The line movement in this Texas-Ohio State game has been absolutely bananas. Raphael, where are we at right now on the top 10 matchup tomorrow in Columbus?
very interesting because the almighty Circa took a nice $550,000 bet on Texas +1. And then what happens? So does 2 offshore books, and so does Caesars take 6-figure bets. So now it's a pick'em. Some shops even moved it to a half. I haven't seen a half point spread in college football since 1990 when I was at Caesars Palace. It was weird to see a half on the betting board, but now I can see, is Ohio State money going to come in, or is everybody going to piggyback on Texas? We could see Texas maybe a 1 or even a 2-point favorite if everyone piggybacks what they just read.
And that takes the narrative away that we've been on the last few days, that Texas, the first AP number 1 team to be an underdog in week 1 ever. So, Zeno, now that all of this line movement and 2 to 2.5 points is a lot when you're talking about 2 elite teams, what does that tell you?
Well, I mean, I think the other part of this, too, was they waited for Ohio State to name their starting quarterback before they put these wagers in. And the fact that it's Julian Sayin, and the fact that, this is still a Texas defense that's probably going to be one of the top 10, if not top 5 defenses in the country, adds all into, let's take the number 1 team and put some money on them as an underdog here, despite the fact that they are in the horseshoes. So I get it. I mean, I don't know if I would go that heavy. Again, I kind of look more towards the under in this game, as I told you when we locked it in earlier, but I certainly understand why Texas is being looked at by sharps as the right side here.
And we also have Archie Manning, Mikey, that is a guy that probably is the most unique person in all of college football ever, that he could have gone someplace and played for 4 years. He could have gone some other, but he wanted to play at Texas, and he wanted games like this. He's going to make $6.8 million reportedly in NIL money. These are the games of why he sat on the bench for multiple years, but now people are backing him. What does it tell you?
Well, it tells me 2 things. It tells me Texas needs Arch Manning to prove that they're the number 1 team in the country right now, and Arch Manning needs to prove he's worth $6.8 million. There is no other game more important than this one for both of these schools. And the Buckeyes are only returning 3 starters on defense. So Arch Manning, I got to look at the ice in the veins. I'm with Zeno here. I think this is a big second half game. And Arch Manning, you want to be a top pick? You want to be the quarterback of the number 1 team in college football? You want to make nearly $7 million in college football this year? Go beat the Buckeyes in the shoe. You have to do it.
We'll be picking our favorite game coming up in about 5 minutes on the other side. But quickly, one other topic, and this one kind of is head-scratching how the NCAA does this, but whatever. A.J. Hawley, he's a starting safety for LSU. They've got a big-time matchup against number 4 Clemson. And Zeno, he's going to be suspended for the first half for a fight he was in last year when he played at Houston. He wasn't even at LSU. Is this fair?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of generally the way things are handled in college, right? This is their self-imposed discipline. We're just going to sit you down for a half, not a full game. We'll try to keep it close to half, bring you in after halftime, and go out and win the game. And we'll say that we did our due diligence and our fiduciary responsibility of disciplining our own. And it's a slap on the wrist in the grand scheme of things, but kind of just still makes me like Clemson even more, especially in the first half now.
Boom. Mikey, you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, player misconduct, right? It's not team misconduct, so he should be benched for the first half, and he should be happy he's not in the NFL because they'll just bench you for a whole game for bad performances. So get into a fight and only sit out a half. Good for you.
When I got about 20 seconds for you, Zeno, Clemson comes in, and for years it's been, he can't play or be successful in the NIL era. But now they're a top 5 team. Has Dabo moved past that?
No, he's not coming off of it. He still believes in recruiting. I mean, look, he kept Cabe Klubnik there for 4 years now, right? And if you want a Heisman bet, that's the guy to bet on right now because his odds won't go the other direction. They'll only go down, especially if they win the week 1 game against LSU. He may end up being the favorite. If Texas loses and Arch doesn't play well and Klubnik does, you're going to see those odds flip. So I think that, Dabo is adjusting as best he can. But if Clemson makes a resurgence into the Final Four here, I don't see him changing anytime soon.
Wow, we will have to wait and see. But put that in the separate sports book. You don't want that Heisman Trophy bet. It's like a blinking red light. It'll drive you insane. All right, boys, well done. On the other side, we're picking our favorite game of the week. Also, it's the Panthers and the Saints. This is Coaching Company presented by Afterburn. Oh, I love it. Right here live on Stadium.
Too easy.
Hello, mate.
Wait a minute. You guys aren't real cops, are you? Oh, damn. When the solar flare hit, we lost our humanity. You saw what people did to the world burn. The monsters they became. If we're to rebuild, we have to hold on to every masterpiece of human achievement. Jake, you have a gift for acquiring treasures.
And what would I be hunting down this time?
Mona.
The Mona Lisa?
In all her motherfucking glory.
Guessing you're my contact. We're headed to the worst place on the planet. There's nothing there but disease and warlords. Yeah, this is definitely a bad idea.
The world is a gladiatorial arena. A worthy opponent is hard to find.
I could have taken that guy.
You're welcome.
We just flew into a war zone. Jumped out of a plane for the first time. Got attacked by a tank. And all this for a painting? I don't get it. What's going on that everybody's willing to die for?
We want our world back, Jake, from these ages of chaos.
We got work to do. I love this song. They're all over us. How many tanks does this guy have? How many tanks does this guy have?
Welcome back to Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, in theaters September 19th.
Oh, that music's very, very catchy in theater September 19th. So pleased to have Afterburn on board, as well as DemerBox, JTS. We're just getting started with the partnerships. Now, as always, I told you we're starting more content here at Coach and Company starting next week. But nighttime, outside of Monday nights, you got to be a part of a very exclusive club. We want you to be a premium member. You can do it anytime if you go to our YouTube page, or we put up the QR code on the screen like we do right now, and you're going to get any emergency pod. So if it's a random Tuesday and I'm just feeling like I'll pop on, but you can join me. Thursday nights, there's football. Maybe a random Saturday. You never know. Also, you get a additional 3 to 5 to 7 minute episode just for you that we record after the show every single day. So come be a part of what we're doing. It's growing. By the way, Kimberly's running the premium. You guys, everything goes through her. She's like, we're going to call her the chat queen. I like that. Producer man, the chat queen. So Kimberly, you're running all that stuff officially starting now. You didn't even know it. All right. Now it is time to bring my guys in, because before we get to the Panthers and the Saints, and honestly, do they really deserve a whole segment? I say no. I want to know where my guys are putting their shekels when it comes to college football first. So Zeno, Mikey, and Chuck, and I'll start with you, Zeno. What game on the college gridiron tomorrow, tonight, Sunday perhaps, are you most looking forward to and you want to put some cold hard cash on?
Clemson LSU. Look, outside of just betting on the game, and I certainly think Clemson is the right side, they're going to win and cover this game. But I would tell you from a college football playoff perspective, this ultimately sets up a ton here for both of these teams. The winner, particularly if it's Clemson, really won't get challenged the rest of the way when you look at their schedule, and may end up being the number one overall seed heading into the college football playoff. They could run the table undefeated if they get through this win here. For LSU, if they lose this game, it literally could be the game that may knock them out of the college football playoff picture when it's all said and done, given the conference that they play in. Even though it's a non-conference, year. They still have to play Florida, at Ole Miss, South Carolina, A&M, Alabama, and at Oklahoma. It's an incredibly tough schedule. Losing this game would be the one that is the difference between them being a 3-loss team that could get in and a 3-loss team that does not get in.
It's funny. I love all that analysis. It begs the question now, if you're LSU, about scheduling, because you want them to play this hard game in week 1. It's for entertainment for us. But then you look at it and you say, man, is this really going to hurt me? Like what Zeno just said, is this going to ultimately hurt me if I have 2 losses in the SEC and a loss to Clemson from the ACC? So, but we want them to play these hard. I think this is also why they want to expand out. So if a team has 3 losses and they're really good, they can still potentially make it in. So we have 1 vote for LSU Clemson. Zeno, well done. Mikey P, coming over to you. What game are you most looking forward to this weekend? Oh no! What are we doing?
Didn't.
Take a lap.
No, he didn't.
2 laps. Hey, Mikey, you're still on. You're still on mute. You're still on mute.
I would love to piggyback off Zeno, but I am not going to. LSU Clemson is a great game this weekend, but I'm going to look at just one single person in the ACC, and that's a guy who's a plus 1,600 to win the Heisman, and that's Lenora Sellers of South Carolina taking on Virginia Tech. We have a lot of top 10 matchups in college football. I want to see if Lenora Sellers is real. I want to see if he is going to be a guy who comes out of really the back of the pack and can set himself up for a great year this year with South Carolina.
I love that. They're playing on Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, noon in the West, and that game is on ESPN. Currently, South Carolina, a 7.5-point favorite at ESPN Bet. The total sitting at 51.5. Big Chuck, where are you headed this weekend?
I am going to piggyback. I'm going right back to that LSU Clemson game. My beloved Tigers travel to the other Death Valley, and sad to say, I think this is going to start out another 0-1 season. So Brian Kelly will be on the hot seat starting early. But the reason I will tune in because I think we'll see a shootout. I am expecting points, plenty of points, but I do see my beloved Tigers starting 0-1 yet again another season.
Zeno, if anybody watched the SEC documentary on Netflix,
I did.
A lot of Brian Kelly in there. And he seems like one of those coaches, and we see a lot of them, that, he's a great coach, so we'll continue to pay him $5 to $10 million no matter where he goes. He couldn't win the big one at Notre Dame, and he's proven early in the season he can't get it done at LSU.
Well, I mean, that's a little bit of an unfair characterization of Brian Kelly. I mean, as a coach and a recruiter, he's really, really good. I do believe that. When you talk about X's and O's, he's probably one of the better X's and O's coaches in college football. But yes, ultimately, when you play in the SEC, all that matters are trips to the playoff and trips to the national championship game and winning titles. I get that. But you're also in a landscape of college football now that when he didn't get it done at Notre Dame, you really were only in a 2 or 3 team race in the SEC. Now you're in a 5 and 6 team race.
True.
In the SEC, and the landscape has just changed, particularly with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma. So I don't think the seat will get as hot as Chuck does. He's probably closer to it than I am. I don't think anybody's talking about firing Brian Kelly, particularly if they can get into the college football playoff this year. That'll at least keep everybody at bay. But yeah, Brian Kelly probably unfairly receives that narrative that he can't win the big one.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. That's why we discuss it. No doubt about it. All right. Great job there, gentlemen. And starting next week, we're going to have a separate premium 5 to 10 minute episode where my guys break down the 3 biggest games in college football. As I told you, we're rolling out more content. All right. It's time very quickly to bet the futures. With all due respect to the Panthers and the Saints, you just don't deserve that much time from us. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to piggyback, and you're going to tell me your thoughts on the wins and also if this team is going to make the playoffs. So let's piggyback. Zeno, then Mikey, then Big Chuck. So Zeno, Panthers, you see the number on the screen. Where are they going this year for you?
I'd lay over. I'd go over. They're going to be better than people think. Look, I tell you, Ted McMillan got my vote for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's going to ball out, and Bryce Young is going to get a lot better. And that's really what this boils down to. As long as Bryce Young continues on the trajectory that he showed the final 6 weeks of the season last year, then this is going to be a team that will steal some wins from people that they didn't think they could get, particularly in a division, which isn't a very good division, but doesn't have a lot of great defenses outside of Tampa Bay. So I think that they will be able to steal some wins from people situationally in spots where they have to go to Carolina. And as long as Bryce Young is above average, I go over.
Yeah, I'm also going over. I'm right there with you, Zeno. Not only am I high on the Panthers to hit the over, I think they will make the playoffs because I'm going to take them to win this division. Listen, Liam Cohen left Tampa Bay. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield in the long term. The Saints don't have a quarterback. And if it comes down to Michael Penix or Bryce Young, I'm taking Carolina and their weapons with Bryce Young than I would trust Michael Penix. So give me Carolina and the Panthers over and to make the playoffs.
I'm going to go ahead and go opposite. Give me the under. I think they're right at 6 wins. I even if they sweep the Saints, maybe they split with the Bucks and the Falcons. So I'm just kind of looking where we're going to see the victories: Cowboys, Dolphins, Seahawks. I think right at 6. They could possibly get to 7. I mean, they could if they maybe sweep in the division. If they sweep maybe the Bucks or the Falcons, but I have them right at a 6-11 season, maybe 7-10.
We're not looking at that
the under
rivalry between the Panthers and the Seahawks as a scintillating Monday night game. What are we doing? What are we doing? All right, let's flip it over to the Saints now. And this is right in Chuck's backyard. There is a number, Zeno. The Saints lose Derek Carr, the only human being to ever quit when he could have made millions. Tip of the cap to his integrity. But what do they do now when you're heading into the Spencer Rattler era?
Yeah, I'd rather head into the ex-wife is king of the world era than the Spencer Rattler era. I think it's a bad decision by Kellen Moore. I think they should have went with Tyler Shook. That said, I have a better way to play the Saints than anything you're looking up there on the board.
Okay.
They are 7-1 plus 700 to have the fewest wins in the NFL this year. That's the bet to make on New Orleans. Whatever that number is, whether it's 4, whether it's 3, whether it's 5, they will have the fewest wins in the NFL. Instead of laying 300 to go under this number, if they end up with 4 wins, they're probably in that category of fewest wins. 3 or 4 wins might get you there. I think the Saints will have the fewest wins in the NFL this year.
I asked people the question for the first time this season. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. You're not going to find that bet just anywhere all willy-nilly. You got to watch the show live. Hashtag it pays to watch the show live. Thank you, Zeno. Now, Mikey, come on over to you. That's a completely different way that I didn't even think about to bet it. Didn't even know you could bet that. But what's your take on the Saints this year?
Well, first, Zeno, you drilled that like Cam Little hit a 70-yard preseason field goal, so props to you on that one. Honestly, 4 wins maybe. If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm just going to sit in my office and I'm just going to stare at my Super Bowl ring from last year because that's about the only good thing happening for you. I don't see the Saints being a competitive team whatsoever. I don't know why Alvin Kamara signed an extension, so give me the under. Give me Zeno's bet and give me the Saints to have the number 1 overall pick next year in the 2026 NFL draft. They are going to be a very, very bad team.
Big Chuck, you live in this area. What are we doing here, Big Chuck? Bring it home for us.
They have 6.5s to alternate. They also have some 4.5s. That's the more standard number across the board. I would also look at the under. I think they're maybe right at 4, maybe Giants, possibly Bears, Jets, Titans, maybe a division game. You could also look at them not to win a division game. That's got some good odds on it also. They could get swept throughout the whole division. But, yeah, I think they're right at possibly 4 wins, but maybe 3 or 2. The Nussmeier sweepstakes, they have to know Arch will probably stay his senior year also, so they're probably looking at Nussmeier to go ahead and get him 4 wins max for my beloved Saints.
Wow, that's got to hurt. And taking a shot at Mikey and his Bears, very unlike my man, Big Chuck. All right, still to come here on the show on the other side. Is it still special to hit 4 home runs in a game? It happened last night, and nobody's talking about it except for us. It's Coach and Company. It's Friday. It's a vibe. Presented by Afterburn right here live on Stadium.
And then I want you to tell me your very first reaction and
kind of the Reader's Digest version of what the story is behind that picture. All right? All right, so here's the first one. This is because you became good friends with the Hart family. Here is Bret Hart. Referees, there's Jack Doan, Timmy White in there, and there you are. Tell me about this picture.
That is Montreal. That is Survivor Series 1997, the Montreal Screwjob. Everybody remembers, that was such a chaotic match and chaotic scene. If you remember, the first 7 minutes of that match were Brett and Sean brawling outside the ring all over the place. They had gone to the other side of the ring like 3 minutes in, and they went over the guardrail, and the fans were killing them. I mean, the fans were beating the hell out of them. It was the most violent crowd I've ever been a part of because they wanted Shawn Michaels' blood. They wanted his blood because that was the weekend Brett was leaving. So they stopped brawling, and they come over to the other side of the ring. And Jan is tapping her wedding ring on the guardrail saying, come over here, come over here. So what happens is that Brett throws Shawn over the guardrail, and they are in our lap. They're brawling in our lap for 30 seconds. One of them almost kicked Jan in the face accidentally. You can see me on the videotape holding my chair between my legs because the fans were trying to steal my ringside chair.
Amazing. Right now, that interview with superfan Neon Chris is up for our premium members at our BTT YouTube page. It's an amazing interview. This guy has been at some of the biggest events in wrestling history, and he has the pictures and the videos to prove it. So become a premium member over there, and you get this entire interview right now live in your feed. All right, do not forget, later today, 2 to 4 Eastern time on Channel 156. It is Off the Ropes as we wrap up and head towards the Clash in Paris. And if you missed any of the Coach and Bro show, I encourage you to watch it on demand. We are live on Stadium, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV, every single Thursday right after Coach and Company. It is the Coach and Bro show, 11 a.m. Eastern to noon, 2 full hours. We're cranking it out. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company live here on Stadium, Bally Sports Live, coming up in about 5 minutes. We will lock it in. If you were not here at the top of the hour, all of our best bets, we give them to you, including Footy Friday as well, coming off a 7-3 day yesterday. Now, gentlemen, sometimes when you start the NFL season, football can just consume you and consume shows, and baseball falls off a cliff. But Zeno, last night we're on the edge of the NFL season, and Kyle Schwarber, who has been the leadoff hitter for the Phillies for the last several years, became the 21st player in Major League Baseball history to hit 4 home runs in a game as Philadelphia blew out the Braves. Take away the fact that you texted me about a Yurfie. That pissed me off. But I took that away and said, hey, pretty damn good game. I bet the over, so I was happy with that. I know you were happy. But when it comes to 4 home runs, is it still special?
Coach, I even told you yesterday Schwarber had 3 bombs against Cal Quantrill.
Yes, you did.
One of the reason why I said, look
You
at
did.
the It is still special. You know what's even more special? This is the second time this year the Braves have allowed 4 home runs to the same guy in one game. Like, how
That's
bad
amazing.
does it have to be that you gave up 4 home runs twice in the same season? So, look, yes, if it's only 21 perfect games in Major League Baseball history, 21 times a player has hit 4 home runs in a game. That's pretty special.
When you really think about that number, it is special, Zeno. And Mikey, 21 times in the history of the game. We're talking over 100 years. Last night was amazing to watch. What was your take on it?
Yeah, and the third time it's happened this season, kind of what Zeno was referring to. So I think that makes it even more special because I don't know that these hitters are getting enough love in today's baseball. And it changes something big for me this year because right now you look at the numbers, Shohei Ohtani, minus 1,000 for NL MVP. What about Kyle Schwarber? Look at Aaron Judge. He's the betting favorite to win the AL MVP. What about Cal Raleigh? Are we going to start rewarding these home run hitters again? Because I would make the case for Kyle Schwarber and Cal Raleigh to be MVP in their respective leagues.
Last night during the Yankees-White Sox game, they were talking about the award. They're like, well, it's a lock that Cal Raleigh's going to get it, as they were showing Aaron Judge on the screen. And all the shows that I watch are like, no, Aaron Judge is the lock. So, Chuck, which way would you go with that?
It's a tight one. I probably would go with Raleigh as of right now, barring any injuries. But going back to the 3 home runs or 4 home runs in the game topic, yeah, that was surprising to see. It's the third time that's been done this season. It hadn't happened since 2017, since J.D. Martinez and the great Scooter Gannett. So there was a lapse between that, and then we see 3 different players hit that. But as of this moment, as of today, Cal Raleigh, I'd have to give the slight edge to.
Zeno, what about you?
Cal Raleigh's not going to win the MVP batting 247. It's just not going to happen. Like, that's the reality of it. And Aaron Judge leads in every major metric category out there. When you talk about his slash line, his OPS, his WAR plus, I mean, he leads in every single category, which is why he's still the favorite. Home runs are cool. Chicks dig the long ball. But when it comes to MVP voting, the analytics nerds are going to win out more than anything else. And again, they're not going to give the MVP to a guy who's batting 247.
He's right, Mikey. Chicks do the long ball. You just took me back like 30 years, Zeno, to when I was 7.
It was a good commercial back in the day.
Thank you. Sorry, I just had to do that. It was a good the greatest commercials back in the day. All right, gentlemen, well done today. Great job on the analysis. Great job on the takes. But a portion of the audience comes here for one very simple reason. They want to cash tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Let's lock it in. Alrighty, 10 seconds or less. Just 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Where do we start? Mikey, go.
Give me Auburn -1.5. Hugh Freeze and the Tigers cannot afford to get off to a bad start this season. They have Jackson Arnold at quarterback, and Cam Coleman will be the difference maker in this game. That's a -115. And then Jamal Haynes of Georgia Tech, over 76 rushing yards at a -115. I like Jamal Haynes, one of the best college running backs in football.
All righty. We go from Mikey to Zeno. Go.
Little simpatico here with Mikey on Georgia Tech as they go over 27.5. Haynes King, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country, against a Colorado defense that didn't get better when Travis Hunter left for the NFL. And then Texas, Ohio State, first half under. You have 2 young, inexperienced quarterbacks starting in this game against 2 of the top 5 defenses of the country from last year. Neither coach is going to want to put their quarterback behind the 8 ball by getting into a hole early. A lot of checkdowns, a lot of underneath stuff, slow pace, under 23.5 in the first half, Texas, Ohio State.
Boom and boom. Love that analysis. Mikey, my eyes are so bad. Could you please read Raphael's picks for me? Yes?
Absolutely. San Jose State over 32.5 at a -120. And then he also likes the Yankees, White Sox over 9. That might hit 90.
And thank you to Raphael for coming on today. Normally he's not on Fridays, but there's a lot of line movement, so we needed him today. So thank you for the time, Raphael. All right, we got 5 big picks from Big Chuck. Go.
And we're going to start on Saturday in the Bundesliga. Hoffenheim, Frankfurt, just don't overthink this one. Both teams do score an over 2.5 that is cashed in 11 straight and 13 of the last 14 meetings. Sunday, EPL, we start the morning with Liverpool, Arsenal. I like Arsenal on the double chance, meaning as long as they don't lose, a draw, or win, you cash. And then I like them to score in the first half. Team total over half a goal. They have scored a first half goal in 5 of the last 6 meetings versus the Reds. Spain, La Liga, Celta Vigo, Villarreal, the over 2.75 that these teams have produced 3 total goals in 5 straight meetings. And lastly, France, Ligue 1, Lyon, Marseille, the over 3, just 2 more high-scoring teams. This total has actually come through in 6 of their previous 8 meetings.
Absolutely love it. Just stack it. All right, our JTS play of the day, Marky Model, is what?
We're going for back-to-back wins today. We're going with Alicia Gray of the Atlanta Dream to get 20 points plus rebounds. She's done it in 15 of her last 17. And against Dallas, she's averaging almost 25 combined. We're going to pair that with Bo Bichette, who's on a 12-game heater. When he's playing at home, he's gone over this line in 17 of his last 20 games. Put them both together, you get a plus 121. Just Stat Sports play of the day.
You know, I love those plus plays, Mark, and I love when people join us over at JTS. The models are up. They are ready to go every single month. They're rolling more out, adding service, a whole deal. Be a part of the beginning. There's a QR code. Our code NFL100 will give you the first month for a single solitary dollar. I'm telling you, every tool in your toolbox you need to have ready to go now that football season is officially here. And by the way, a lot of you are always asking about tennis picks. They have some in the chat as well. All right, Raphael. Mikey, read this for me, please.
The New York Yankees' last 10 games, 8 of them have gone over the total that backs Rafi's pick for the over in the Yankees-White Sox game today.
It's like a two-part authentication. Didn't like it before. I like it now. All right, gentlemen, we got about 1 minute left. Zeno, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to skibbity riz with Chuck's soccer picks all weekend long. So I don't know what he said or where to find him. But it'll take me 30 minutes to actually locate the bet, but I'll do it. We're going to watch a lot of college football. So there's that.
I love your text about where's Chuck's game. Oh, I love we just cashed with Chuck. Yeah. It goes to different ends of the spectrum. Mikey, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to grab my tissues and I'm going to cry on the farewell tour of Lee Corso, and then I'm going to lock in for a great weekend of college football.
I don't know if you guys saw the video yesterday of the little airport he flies out of. How cool was that? Chuck, what are you doing this weekend other than cashing 5 tickets?
Well, my plans of getting outside my normal yard work has been put on hold since we have a monsoon in the area, so I'll just sit around and watch a few sporting events.
Yeah, a few things. Mark, 15 seconds.
Nothing but college football, WNBA, and of course baseball. Just keeping track of the models and gearing up for NFL.
And by the way, college football, you got to wait till the day of to get that model. NFL will be out on Tuesdays. All right, gentlemen, well freaking done this week. Producer man, one shot. Thank you very much. This is now the time when you start to take those steps forward. This is our time, and there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for my entire company. Damn it, do I love them all. My man, Zeno. Then Mikey P, Marky Model, Big Chuck, Raphael, producer man. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you. So we're going to win with you. It's what we're all about every single day, presented by Afterburn. It's Coaching Company. Damn it, do we love this live on Stadium. Have a great week.